Yeah. Morning, folks, and welcome to Topic Mixer. My name is Big Al, and this is Big Al's Topic Mixer. Okay, to start it off today, let's talk about Kobe Bryant. God bless him, rest in peace. Him and his daughter. Um, I won't go into great details because you've probably seen memorials all over the place. It's all over the news. But I will say that he did pass away in a plane crash last Sunday during the Pro Bowl or prior to the Pro Bowl. Um, I was watching the Pro Bowl at the time when it was announced on the air. There's been some controversy as to TMZ getting the information on his crash and releasing his information early on without authorities getting an opportunity to release the information themselves after they've done a thorough investigation. And I kind of agree with them. TMZ was wrong on that one issue. Um, Again, my prayers go out to the family. I won't dwell on this, but we know that Kobe Bryant was one of the best basketball players. Made MVP 4 times. Uh, was the scoring leader until LeBron broke his record just the day before the plane crash. Um, and he was a Laker player from the beginning of his career to the end. Played 20 years in the NBA. Man, he was awesome. And like you said, I've seen some of those games where he scored 60 plus games. I pulled for him in finals. He was a great player. Um, 5 of those titles, by the way. He's got 5 of those. Man, a lot of players can't even boast that they have that many titles. So my condolences go out to him and his family. And my prayers are always going up for his family as they deal with this. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Trump. Okay, the impeachment. Um, Best way to put this is I haven't been watching it because to me it's just a monkey trial, for lack of a better word. Um, Bipartisan is a part of both sides. The Democrats impeached him, and the Republicans are going to acquit him. Now, the Democrats have been trying for since the beginning of the time he's been president to impeach the man, and there have been some Democrats openly said, "Hey, they're going to impeach him," because there's things that's been going. We got the Russian scandal, we got him using his money and allowing people to stay at his resorts while he's president. That's kind of abuse of his position. Also, now we've got the controversy with Ukraine, which is the one that got him impeached. Abuse of power and, of course, obstruction of justice. Democrats did what they could with the information they had. I mean, he did release a transcript of the call. He never actually released the call, but if he hadn't released the call, it probably wouldn't have been good. It was a heavily redacted memo that they got, and that was enough to use here. Plus, they had witnesses that said that uh, Trump was trying to hold funds to get something out of the Ukrainians, and that's why he was convicted by the Democrats, or rather, he was impeached by the Democrats. He wasn't convicted. This led to the trial, which is currently going on. He has an interesting set of lawyers, 2 of which have controversies on the name, and I won't even talk about that. One is a person that he gave $25,000 to his campaign back in 2013 while his Trump University was under investigation. The other, okay, I'll mention his name, Alan Dershowitz, was a lawyer for Jeffrey Epstein. Remember that video I made about that guy? Yeah. He helped him get a lighter sentence, and is also there's information that he may have, though it's only rumor, and it's only speculation, that he may have had sex with a minor. So I'm bringing up that information. But Alan Dershowitz is one of the lawyers. He was a lawyer for O.J. Simpson. He's been a lawyer for Mike Tyson, among others as well. Not just Jeffrey Epstein, but that's one of his more infamous clients on that list. Let's not forget, he is a lawyer, and lawyers do the things they have to do for their clients. Now, the whole thing about the underage girl, Maybe there's information out there that I know nothing about on that. He claims he's handled that, and that's no longer an issue. Well, we'll find out. Okay, moving on from Trump, from that, as far as Trump goes, like I said, the Democrats got their impeachment. Now the Republicans are going to acquit him. And that's obvious. They won't allow witnesses. They've already voted against that. They're going with what they got on the table, and that's enough. And so this whole thing has not been watchable. So I have decided not to watch it at all. It's a sad thing. All I can tell is people, you have the power in your hand now. You have the power to vote. And it's not just the president that we got to worry about. It's Congress. We've got to change the face of Congress. Let me tell you what recently happened. There was a bill that went through Congress. There's a whole article by the ACLU out there where this young lady was in her home. The police busted in. They had went in the wrong house. She was standing there with a kitchen knife, and they shot her. The Supreme Court ruled against the family who sued the police department for that incident. The Supreme Court said that they had a right to that, even though they may have been wrong, they were right because they didn't know they were breaking the law. Have you ever heard that before? We're not, me as an average citizen, if I break the law and I didn't know that I broke the law, I still could go to jail for it. So with this case, that was before the Supreme Court. This Supreme Court that has two judges from the current Trump administration sitting on the administration league, because it was split along conservative and liberal judges line. That affects the whole thing. Like your right to carry an arm, do you have weapons in your house? Do you just living in your own house? You're giving the police an authority and a right to just break in and kill you. That's what it sounds like. Sorry, I had to bring that up. So it's important in November that we vote for the right people and put the right people in office. That's why Bloomberg, as far as Democrats, is off my list. He's a stop and frisk guy, so he would allow police to come in your house and basically do the same thing. So he's off my list. Just letting you know how I feel about that particular person. Now, these aren't the only elections. I have a friend running for office. Shout out to Erica Parker. She's local here in Alabama, Birmingham, in Jefferson County. If y'all would, please look up her information. She's running for county clerk. And we'd love for you to participate and vote for her. I think she's an awesome candidate. She's an awesome person. Moving on. Let's talk about the next subject at hand. The Super Bowl. Yeah, the Super Bowl. That's the big one. The big one is the Super Bowl that's coming up today. I've looked up some information about both teams. Man, 49ers can run the ball. Two players with 795 yards apiece. They carried the ball 175 times. You got another one with 635 rushing yards. Kittle is an awesome tight end. Both quarterbacks pretty good. Mahomes has a higher passing rating. Garoppolo's been sacked 36 times, so it says a lot about the offensive line. I looked at the running game for Kansas City Chiefs. Their backs have ran the ball a lot, but they don't get a lot of yards. 465 yards apiece, 236 for the third string. Running is not their thing. Pass the ball, they do a wonderful job. They're awesome at that as well. They got a great tight end. They have Tyreek Hill's wide receiver. Their receiving core is off the chain. So that's something to look for. Defensively, 49ers have the advantage. You got 4 players with 6+ sacks. So where else can you go with that? I mean, we're talking about a powerhouse up front line. So it's going to be defense versus offense. That's the way I see it. And I'm not going to give a predictor per se, but when it comes to defense, a game like this, defense often wins. So I'm saying the 49ers have an advantage there. I'm looking forward to a great game. It's going to be awesome to watch. The last thing I want to talk about, of course, is the election. And, we have the Iowa caucuses coming up, which are unique because it's where people gather in their districts. They don't vote by ballot. What they do is they stand in groups of whichever candidate they want. They count those heads and go on from there. And then you'll always have the undecided. So the undecided stand in their own little group. and the other groups get 30 minutes to try to convince them to stand in their group. Now, once that's done, and let's say your candidate reached 15%, so then we have another vote. In this one, now we're convincing the other candidates, folks who didn't make the 15%, to come join those groups, and then we determine who will be the winner of the Iowa caucus, and then the top candidates get delegates to the convention, Democratic convention. So that's important. But like I said, what's also important is congressional elections. So you need to look at those, do all your research you can on those candidates. There are several presidential candidates running. Michael Bennet, Pete Buttigieg, Bernie Sanders, Warren, Elizabeth Warren. We got former Vice President Joe Biden running. Just do your research on them. Sanders and Warren seem to be the most most liberal candidates in the group, with Sanders wanting Medicare for all, free tuition, among other things, and workers' rights. Warren is Medicare for all. I believe she's probably with free tuition, and I'm sure all of the candidates want to raise the minimum wage. That is part of their plan. Now, some of them stand differently on bank reform and things like that, which I think are important as well. Bank reform and immigration. One candidate, Andrew Yang, has an interesting proposal with the minimum income proposal. He says the reason why our job market is going to suffer is because of automation, robots, and AI, which is possible because there's a lot of things that AI is doing. It's taking, how it's doing it. If you walk into a Walmart, they have an automatic cash register. A lot of factories use robots now. They have for years. You go to the library, you see robots there. Robots are taking over in a lot of different places and a lot of different jobs. So this proposal is a pretty good one. Andrew Yang's got a good thing there. Sanders talking about Medicare for all. The issue with any of them talking about Medicare for all is pay. Where's the money coming from? That's taxation. Tax the rich, give to the poor. It's kind of the same thing as Republicans say, don't tax the rich and they'll give to the poor. That hasn't worked either. We have to look at a balanced approach of how to handle this and how to do this. So that's why we need the right candidates in office, not just the president, but also in Congress. And I'm going to keep bringing that up. Congress and your local elections, all that matters. So we need to change the face of what we're seeing now, because I think we're headed in the wrong way. That's it as far as things go. For now, I will be talking about some more important issues later on. I brought up a couple of things along the way. Also, I would like to talk about this. Kobi Bryant's crash happened. A few days after that, soldiers in I believe it was 6 soldiers in Afghanistan lost their life in a plane crash that may have been possibly a shoot down. I hate to end this video with that, but I want to give a shout out to their family and honor their service to the United States. These young men and women are fighting in a war that our country deems necessary, and they're doing it because they're doing it for their country, regardless of whether the fight is right or not. We have to honor those men and give them the honor they have. And just want you to say, God bless you. This is my reaction video here on Topic Mixer. If you have any comments, please comment below. And also, please leave a like. The more likes, the better. The views, I need your views. I need your likes. Those things get us to the next level. I can improve the videos. If you have any suggestions, please don't leave those below as well. It's been great. You have a wonderful day. And again, this is Big Al's Topic Mixer. Thank you.